guys, what's up? This is Chris Rambo here, and today we'll be doing a Microsoft Flight Simulator X EZDOK tutorial. I'm gonna show you guys the basics, and keep in mind this is applicable for P3D. If you do get EZDOK to work for P3D, for you guys using FS9, this is not available for you guys. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's going to be available. I mean, FS9 is all in all. Okay, let's get to it. So, first off, what we want to do is we want to run the ezcaconfig.exe icon. This should show up on your desktop after installation of the program. Now, keep in mind, every time you install an aircraft, you must run this or else it won't work properly. Don't say I didn't warn you. So, let's say I install a PMDGMD11. I want to run the ezcaconfig.exe so that it adds this to the respective aircraft's CFG. So let's run as administrator. Remember to always run everything as administrator. Administrator is king. Configure FSX. Let's do that. So we just basically want to click on this, and boom, there we go. We have the camera file added to our various aircraft CFGs. Okay, so let's head on to the sim now and begin on that side. I'll see you guys there. Hey guys, what's up? Chris Rambo here, and we are in P3D and using EZDOK. Just before we get started, just a quick note, SimForums has made available the beta version 1.18.5, which allows EZDOK to work flawlessly with P3D version 2. I don't think version 1 is supported, but you can always, again, check just to make sure. Their site has a very nice detailed written tutorial with pictures on how to successfully install this add-on for FSX. Sorry, for P3D. Other than that, I am loving it right now, and it's working great, as you can see. Alright, so right now we are in Curacao, and we're on the 737. Let's begin the tutorial. And just a quick note, this tutorial is applicable for FSX as well. So for those FSX users, yes, you can also use this tutorial to guide you accordingly to successful camera works. Okay, so let's begin by the basics. So we want to click Alt, the Alt key on the keyboard, either left or right, and you should get the menu panel coming up here, the menu selection. You want to go to add-ons, you want to go to EZDOK camera add-on. We want to make sure that's enabled, and we want to go to Show Studio. Okay, so this is the main panel we'll be using, and after some time you'd become familiar with it. So we have the aircraft name here, we have the type of aircraft, it's a medium, whatever. Okay, so to begin with, we have three different sections. We have the visual cockpit section cameras, we have the aircraft cameras, and we have the world cameras. Visual cockpit cameras are solely for cameras in the visual cockpit itself. This cannot work outside. This is only for inside the aircraft, only for inside here. Okay, so don't expect to add a camera for outside the aircraft and for it to work using the visual cockpit section of the EZDOK panel. Okay, so this again is solely for the virtual cockpit. Okay, so then we have the aircraft camera now, and this is where the scene I was just at the beginning a while ago, and this is cameras which are attached to the aircraft. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you're flying, this aircraft would be at the same position holding on to the airplane. It's not going to move around in terms of being independent from the plane itself. Alright, so just keep that in mind. So this will be attached to the aircraft because it's aircraft camera, right? Then we have the world camera. Now this camera is independent to the aircraft. So once you add a world camera to like an airport, for example, this would be independent to the aircraft. So while the aircraft moves, this camera would remain in a stationary position unless you move it yourself. Alright, this could be useful for takeoffs, whatever, if you want to have a real as real as it gets, go by the fence, whatnot, and yeah, you'd want to use this one so that the camera is independent to the aircraft. So back into the virtual cockpit, and let's run through some of the basics. Okay, so we have the panel open up here, and again, as you can see, this is version 1.1 8.5, and it's the beta version working pretty damn good for P3D. So let's add a camera. So how do you add a camera? Basically what you want to do, find a nice position. Let's say we want kind of like a jump seat camera in a way. Okay, so let's say we want this, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the EZCA. It should be in your taskbar there. You want to right click, you want to click add camera. Let's put in jump seat. Okay, so if I click into pilot command, I can now go back with that new camera to jump seat to get back the camera I just added. Alright, and to delete a camera if you don't like it, just as easy, delete current camera. Now you're probably wondering how, or if I created all of these cameras here. No, PNDG came with the 737 came with these cameras. The 800, that is, the 6 and 700, you have to actually create them or drag over the file to put it in, so you can get these cameras available to you. Okay, so what we went through what these mean and how to add and delete a camera, and that is applicable for aircraft as well as world. Okay, so let's go into the view control. What do these things mean? Okay, so first, right here to the most left hand side, we have the point to point mode, and this is basically enables or disables smooth switching between cameras. So if I was to take this off and I would go to overhead, sorry, let me just have to take both of them off, right? You would see that there's no smooth switching. It's just click it and you look. But with the PTP on now, it gives you that smooth transition between different cameras, okay? As you can see. Alright, so that's what that means. So I usually leave it on, it adds a nice effect. So then we have the 360 degree view mode, and if we enable this, this will allow us to rotate the camera in a full 360 degree. I know that FSX is limited to I believe it's 180 if I remember clearly. So this allows me to look all the way around 360 degrees. How cool is that? Alright, so that's what that does basically. Simple as it gets. Then we have the POV camera. What does this mean? This is the point of view, and this allows you to move the camera with the arrow buttons on the keyboard. So you see how I was just moving it around just now? This allows you to move around the cockpit basically, or to move around areas. So just like this, I can go down, I can go up, I can go all here, everywhere. Okay, so that's what that does. Next camera is the mouse look. This is again self-explanatory. This is, it allows you to look around without having to click anything. So the camera basically follows your mouse. Okay, so I move my mouse down, move my mouse up, down, up, left, right. Alright, got the point. Before I continue, you're probably wondering how am I looking around, pan around the cockpit. I'm just clicking my middle mouse button, and once you click and hold it, you're able to pan around rather than the classical way of pressing a space bar and mouse, using a mouse to look around. No, this is much easier. You use the middle mouse button and as simple as that, look around. Okay, then we have the zoom, which Z stands for zoom, and enables you to zoom with the mouse wheel. So let's do that like that. Okay, so that's what that does. And then we have, okay, so those are the basic ones which we'll be looking and working with. Okay, so let's go to the effects camera now, the effects section. So this one in red here, these effects in red, okay, this is stands for random. Okay, once enabled, this effect simulates the roughness of the surface when the plane is on the ground. So let's say you're taxiing Okay, this will simulate a little bit of roughness shaking up, like your head actually shaking up in real life. Okay, simple. The dynamic head movement, which is the DHM, this simulates the movement of the pilot's or your head caused by the acceleration. So let's say we're taking off, you'd see the camera kind of moving backward to simulate that G effect. Or touchdown, you'd see the head kind of shaking up. Okay, or yeah, or turbulence or whatnot. And then we have the CR, which stands for camera renaissance, and this simulates basically the shaking of the camera when it touched down. When the aircraft touches down, it simulates that effect of the plane shaking up. Well, your head shaking up. Alright, so if you right click on these, you can go ahead and edit the various settings, and I would recommend you check the manual out, because this is totally up to you on how you would like it to be. I'm not sure of your preferences or what you would like, so I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. So right click on all of these to get various different effects. Alright, so a lot of aircraft comes with the random effect already having some values inside of it, right? So if I was to click on edit here, you would see that it gives me a little preview of the random camera simulating roughness of the surface, okay, both on ground and the air profile. Alright, and what you want to do is you want to click on global gain. You want to move this around to, as you can see, to simulate the intensity of roughness or the intensity of shaking, head shaking. Right, if I move this all the way down to the to the left, you'd see that it kind of goes down and it gets more subtle and light and more manageable. Okay, so I usually leave mine at around 6 to 7, and this usually works for me when I'm doing my flights, etc., and VATSIM and whatnot. Okay, as I said, a lot of aircraft come with these things set already, being the body Y, X, and Z axes being already inputted. So only basically have to just click edit. But in the event it does not, you would actually have to manually enter these and manually change them, change the various generators. Alright, again, this is totally up to you and your preferences. I don't know your preferences. Alright, so you just again right click on these to edit them, to edit both the various generator. So we have A, B, and C, and we have the various bodies or the various axes that we're moving on. So we have the Y axis, the X, and Z. Okay. Alright, so that covers that segment. So then we have file here, and you can, the camera also allows you the ability to import EZDOK camera files. Okay, and for example, if your friend has a nice settings that you want, he can basically export them, and then you can import the cameras and have it in your EZDOK as well. Alright, again, you can save the camera set, load them. Okay, simple stuff. Okay, so let's go on to something a little more, I wouldn't say tricky, but it's cool. So let's go to options and general settings. So we have here the virtual cockpit section, which correlates to this section. Then we have the aircraft, which relates to this aircraft section. Then we have the wheel, relates to this. Okay, so if you were to change the values in the virtual cockpit, and you really want it, you're outside the aircraft and you want, let's say, the views or the speeds on the aircraft to work, it's not going to work like that. You have to change it accordingly. So aircraft with aircraft, virtual cockpit with virtual cockpit. Okay, speed. This basically deals with the speed at which the mouse moves. As you can see, mouse speed. So Look at that, for example. Look how fast my mouse is able to move by just raising that speed up. If I was to put it down all the way now, you would see it's more of a slow effect. Smoothness, the higher the values, the more smooth it gets. So you get a smoother feel and smoother turn to look. And this is extremely useful when you're making videos. You want it to be as smooth and as possible for viewer experience. Okay, so I usually set this when flying to about 0.11 at a smoothness of 0. Sorry, about 106 around there, and it's pretty manageable like that. Okay, so this is the setting I use, so that's 0.11 at 106. Speed now, this deals with the point of view now, so this relates to point of view. Okay, so the speed, how to put this? Okay, so let's say we want the cockpit camera, if you wanna, let's say, pan around or move around very quickly, you put this all the way up. Let me show you. Look how quickly we move from the captain to the first officer side of the aircraft. Okay, and vice versa, it also works the opposite. The lower the speed, the slower is your movement using the POV, the point of view. Alright, again, this is extremely useful when making videos. Keep in mind that, as well as the smoothness, how smooth you want the camera to go. So you see there's that smoothness there, and again, increasing the values increases the smoothness, increasing the values to the right here increases the speed, making it faster. Decreasing the values to the left makes it slower. Alright, and this is applicable to virtual cockpit as well as aircraft. Alright, so if I wanted to, let's go outside in the aircraft outside here, and let's say I wanted to make a little video. So what I would do is I would look for a nice view. Okay, so let's say I wanted to get a nice kind of cockpit view. Let's get to the cockpit, for example. So again, you must have your point of view camera, or the point of view selection or knob, whatever you want to call it, enabled for this to work. Alright, so we are right here in front of the airplane. It's going to zoom in a little bit, and let's show you an example right here. So I'm going to make a really nice nose cone part of it with the cockpit, a nice shot. So I'm going to take the speed, I'm going to bring the speed down a little bit, I want to increase the smoothness, and I want to decrease the mouse speed, right? And that allows me now to get this kind of nice, smooth, delicate view that you see in my videos, or my most latest ones, when I get to really master EZDOK a little bit more. And it's really an amazing camera when you get to know it and use it. Of course, you won't be an expert overnight, but I mean, with practice comes perfection. So that is just a simple example there of tuning the aircraft cameras, tuning these variables here to make a nice, smooth, flawless scene or clip. Alright, of course, when you increase the speed, it increases the rate of turn and look, and increases the mouse speed. Right, smoothness, again, it's the same thing as the virtual cockpit, and same thing as the world. All these things, it's basically the same thing, right? So again, so keyboard, if you want like to increase the speed outside the plane, we can just bring that value up, and there we go, we have an increased speed moving out. Alright, so now I just want to point some things out. For these things to work successfully, you must do some editing to your controls. Alright, so what you would want to do is you want to delete the num2, num8, num4 and num6, as well as the num9 and num3. Why is that? Because, for example, right now I'm using the arrow keys to move around, and these arrow keys also so let's say, okay, let's make this simple. So let's say the left arrow key on the keyboard is actually num4, okay, on the numpad. The right arrow key is num6, the forward arrow key is num8, and the backward arrow key is num2. If you have these things enabled, when you're flying and you want to record a scene and you click, for example, num4 or left arrow key, let's say to move this way, alright, what would happen is that since on FSX or in P3D it is already preset that left arrow key or num4 would mean to turn left, the aircraft would bank left and you would actually lose control, okay? And I have many friends who had this problem whereby they're trying to take a nice picture or trying to record a little scene, and the aircraft banks heavily to the left and loses control, and they have to bank it back and get everything back into order, right? So let me show you how to do this. So it's extremely simple. We want to go to options, we want to go to settings, we want to go to controls, and again this is applicable to FSX as well, and we just want to go to control services. So we have ailerons bank left. Here would have been num4 on my side and num6. Okay, so we want to delete that. So once that is deleted, you have now freed up your arrow keys or your num4 and num6, and it allows you to now move left and right without interfering with the aircraft's flight. Okay, and that as well goes for num2 and num8, which is down and up respectively. You'd also want to delete num9 and num3 because that is page up and page down, which in FSX and P3D also has the command to increase engine throttle and decrease. So let's say you're flying a little Cessna and you want to do a little shot and you still have that enabled and you want to go down. Okay, you want to go down this way like that, you would be decreasing the throttle. Or if you want to go up, you would be increasing the aircraft's throttle, right? So just have that in mind, that those keys are disabled or you're going to have serious problems. For those of you guys using FS Recorder, you're also going to have to change the keys from the num keys or the arrow keys to, let's say, W, S, A, D on the keyboard, because those will also conflict with the camera. So let's say you're trying to move left and the FS Recorder, it's creating a reverse, it's making the aircraft go back and it's screwing up your whole scene. So you also have to keep that in mind, that to delete those FS Recorder settings and to put that as different key commands. So just a little work you have to do to get this to work, but in the end it's all worth it. And this is just a basic tutorial on how to get EZDOK set up and working. I hope it was helpful. Again, I will have if you guys using P3D version 2 and want to get EZDOK to work with P3D, I will put the link in the description as well as the manual link into the description. And again, this is applicable for FSX users as well. If you guys using FS9, I am sorry, but this camera add-on, it's not available for you guys. So I don't know if there's like a substitute or alternative, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. Bye bye.